Let's talk about the speech now. It will certainly explain many things and it will certainly get rid of the misconception that you may have. A pretty after dinner speech for $1 billion. When on the evening of December 12, 1900, some 80 of the nation's financial nobility gathered in the banquet hall of the University Club on Fifth Avenue to do honor to a young man from out of the West, not half a dozen of the guests realized they were to witness the most significant episode in American industrial history. J. Edward Simmons and Charles Stewart Smith, their hearts full of gratitude for the lavish hospitality bestowed on them by Charles M. Schwab during a recent visit to Pittsburgh, had arranged the dinner to introduce the 38-year-old steelman to Eastern banking society. But they didn't expect him to stampede the convention. They warned him, in fact, that the bosoms within New York's stuffed shirts would not be responsive to the oratory, and that if he didn't want to bore the Stillmans and Harrymans or Vanderbilts, he had better limit himself to 15 or 20 minutes of police vaporings and let it go at that. Even John Pierpont Morgan, sitting on the right hand of Schwab, as became the imperial dignity, intended to grace the banquet table with his presence only briefly. And so far as the press and public were concerned, the whole affair was of so little moment that no mention of it found its way into print the next day. So the two hosts and their distinguished guest ate their way through the usual 7 or 8 courses. There was little conversation, and what there was of it was restrained. Few of the bankers and brokers had met Schwab, whose career had flowered along the banks of that area, and none knew him well. But before the evening was over, they, and with them Money Master Morgan, were to be swept off their feet, and a $1 billion baby, the United States Steel Corporation, was to be conceived. It is perhaps unfortunate for the sake of history that no record of Charlie Schwab's speech at the dinner was ever made. He repeated some parts of it at a later date during a similar meeting of Chicago bankers. And still later, when the government brought suit to dissolve the Steel Trust, he gave his own version from the witness stand and the remarks that stimulated Morgan into a frenzy financial activity. It is possible, however, that it was homely speech, somewhat ungrammatical, for the niceties of the language never bothered Schwab, full of epigram and threaded with the wit. There it went.